we weren't built to sit in front of screens. Like, that's just not what we're supposed to be doing with our lives. Sometimes I find myself like triple screening. Like, I'll be on the couch on my phone with my laptop in my lap watching the television, like, and then maybe my Apple Watch will be going off. Like, it's wild how much screen time we have. We're so dissociated from what we're supposed to be doing as humans. We're supposed to be in community and spending time with each other and out in the sun and getting vitamin D and, you know, grounding on grass. And we don't do any of that stuff because we're just so addicted to our screens. And so anytime that I'm spending more time on screens than I think that my internal like soul is like, please, can you leave the freaking house and just go get something, like do something that's good for you, do some movement, do some exercise, get some sun, go in the sea, do something that's good for your soul, you know? And I hate being on screens.
Welcome to the Success School podcast. Steph, how you feeling?
It's been a big week. It's actually been a really few big weeks, hasn't it? And it's a big day. But I'm feeling pumped to have this conversation with you. This is a fun conversation. I'm really excited for this one.
Should be a good one. Just a bit of a teaser, guys. We run a coaching company, so we're always testing things, and we thought it would be cool just to give you guys a peek under the hood or behind the curtain on what we're actually doing, what we're testing, what worked, what didn't work, what failed, so you guys don't have to make the same mistakes in your business. We haven't really done one of these episodes before, so make sure you give us feedback if you really enjoy this. Steph, personal update. What's going on for you?
No, I think you're going to laugh at mine.
Yeah,
and
that's the point.
So I don't know. Look, it's new for you as well, but I was this week years old when I started not just using a to-do list, but like a repeatable to-do list. And you were the one that was like, I think that this is going to be a really helpful format for you. And it's the most basic thing of all time. Like, guys, like, I'm embarrassed to talk about this because I do usually have a to-do list, but it's like pretty ad hoc and it's just kind of like a random scrap in my notes app in my phone of the projects that I'm working on. And then like regularly you'll just remind me of a project I should be working on that I haven't actually structured.
So for anyone extremely unorganized, just like you, what do you mean and what is it? Like, how does it work? Tell us more.
So what I've done, I've got it open in front of me just so I can try to explain it, is like daily, like most of our days are the same. Like we are routine people. So we get up, we train, we have breakfast, I feed the dogs. And then there are some projects, because we rotate coaching days. So I coach Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. You coach Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. And so because of that, on the other day, so like Monday when you're coaching, I do my projects and do my creation-based work so that I'm not getting caught up in trying to coach and also create content. And anyway, so what I've done is I just put it in a list. I will literally screenshot some of the list and I will put it on the YouTube so you guys can have a look. But basically it's broken down so it's repeatable. So and it has a little tick box on it like in the notes app. And so I'm able to just tick things off as I go. And literally...
How are you functioning at business?
No, I don't know.
What the fuck's going on here?
And it made me kind of realize this week, because I'm, able to look. The thing that I was doing before was I had the to-do list in my phone and then I was just deleting things as I processed them. So at the end of the day,
I've done nothing.
I felt like I'd done nothing because there was still stuff on my to-do list, but I'd done stuff, but I couldn't even remember what I'd done. Whereas this is so satisfying. Like, I look at it all and I'm like, oh, that's done. And I can see today that I still need to order groceries, which I will do this afternoon to make sure that we have groceries for the house for the rest of the week. And so it's just really satisfying and it's very helpful. And you basically forced me to do it. And I appreciate you. Thank you for that.
35 years old, using a to-do list for the first time, guys. Fucking inventing fire. Like, it's crazy.
Yours.
Great job. Mine's just a little bit of like a win. So we've been talking about moving. We're moving to Koh Samui. Nothing specific, but on the 8th of January, we're moving at 12 p.m. Flight is out of Perth. So super excited for that. But we've actually inspired a bunch of people to move, which is cool. So a friend of mine, Clint, or a friend of ours, Clint and Kiani, are moving to Koh Samui as well, which is super exciting. I told my parents this the other day and they were like, oh, we're so relieved you're moving there and you're not going to be alone. And I'm like, you don't even know me, mum and dad. Like, really? Like, I'm fucking froth being alone. Like, I'm pumped to be alone. Like, that was the point. But also it's like kind of cool to have mates there as well. So we have a bunch of people, but I kind of was thinking maybe the podcast the other week that we released about leaving Australia inspired you, and I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if we've inspired you to make a move, or we've inspired you to, seek something a little bit different in your life, let us know. It is super exciting. And if you are coming to Koh Samui, we're starting an entrepreneurs hangout of expats there. It's going to be epic. We're going to stack cash, make money, get jacked, even more jacked, and have a really good time. Steph, how do you feel about that?
It's
moving.
just sounds like everywhere we go, we build cults.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong. No, I'm pumped. I'm actually stoked that Clinton County moving. I've actually got a girlfriend there already who used to work in one of my past coaching businesses. We have another entrepreneur couple friend that already live there as well. So we've got this kind of like, there's at least 8 of us already. So this is awesome. I'm excited.
We're taking over. All right, guys. So we're diving in today. We're telling you all the shit we're doing, we're not doing, what's working, what's not. First one is kind of Steph. We run conversion events every month. The whole premise behind the conversion event thing is get a bunch of people on a workshop. We give them some value. We pitch them Success School. If you guys want to join right now, go to makemoreprofit.com, click on the mastermind and have a look through. But we run these conversion events every month, and we've recently decided to cancel one, which we've never done before. Steph, what was it? Why do we cancel it? And talk us through that process. And they're probably interested to hear what was the real reason we canceled it.
More context, just so you guys have it, is that we have been running these monthly workshops, presentations for the whole year. And there have been many times that we've wanted to cancel, to be fair, because if you haven't run one before, you're about to learn that conversion events are a lot of work. It sounds simple, just run a masterclass. What we haven't done and what we've done on hard mode is that every single masterclass has been different from the last and brand new. So we have to ideate the concept. We have to create an entire round of marketing messaging for it. All of our content needs to now go towards emails. That. Ads, emails, landing pages, funnels. It's not just the emails, it's the follow-up emails and the reminder sequences and the everything that goes out for that thing, right? So we've had this, it's a lot of work for us, for our team to get this thing off the ground, and we have to spend the time making the slides, and the slides it's a whole thing,
it's right?
It's a whole thing. So it takes us, I would say on average, it probably takes us to prep and run a workshop. I reckon it probably takes us about 16 hours a month in total for all the team in, which is that's a lot of man hours per month to run a workshop. The reason that we are cancelled, this is the first one that we'll have cancelled and the whole year, and we made a commitment, kind of not an oath, but a bit of a commitment to ourselves, to not run a workshop, is actually not that we're not running a workshop at all. It's that we just stopped the one that we were going to run. And the reason for that was a few things. One, as we went to advertise it, you and I couldn't summon up the interest to advertise it.
I was like, this is lame as
This
fuck.
is lame. We kind of had this internal knowing that this isn't that fun. I don't really want to talk about this. It's not really, it was about building trust with your audience. And it felt a bit lame. It felt quite forced. Even though we know it's something that people need to hear, we just didn't really want to talk about it. Two, we put a few bits and pieces out, little bites on the internet, and didn't get many bites.
Anything.
And so we don't really want to run it. The audience doesn't really want to run it. Literally in an episode that went out this week for the podcast, so we're a couple of weeks in front, we spoke about this workshop that's coming up that we're not now running. So I think that the message for anyone that's listening to this is if you have a launch coming up, if you're planning the launch of a program, the beta program, a masterclass, if you have a lead magnet that you're about to put out and you get the feeling oh, this is a bit lame, or I'm not really sure if I should continue doing this, then you probably should just not do it. Because I think that if you're not excited about it, it's going to be really hard for you to create content about it, and it's going to be really hard for your audience to get excited about it, and it's just going to flop, and then it's a waste of your time and really everyone's time and your entire time that you're marketing the thing.
I'll speak to the marketing after, but what kind of workshops do you want to run and why? What kind of lights you up at the moment?
That's a great question. Interestingly enough, so the one that we're about to run is around Facebook ads, which is actually not something that I particularly get very interested in or necessarily very excited about. You're definitely the ads guy. But what does get me excited is how predictable Facebook ads are for leads. That does get me excited because I like my clients making money. My number one driver in this lifetime is helping my clients get as rich as possible. In fact, I'd love to help not just my clients. I'd love to help everyone get as rich as possible because I just think that being poor really sucks. And I've experienced that pretty much my entire life up until the point where we met. And so I just want to help our clients get as rich as possible. So I can get really excited about lead generation because lead generation leads to sales and sales lead to money and a profitable business and having the time freedom and lifestyle freedom that you want. And so that lights me up. But it has to be something that lights me up like that. Building the concept that we had was building trust, and it just was not exciting. It's like, yes, that will help you to make sales, and yes, it's a longevity game. But like, even just talking about it now, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, it's just not fun. Like, you want results. I want to teach something where people get a result. So that's something for me. What lights you up?
Yeah, something I'm good at. I don't really like presenting or talking about or doing anything that like I'm not really a subject matter expert on. It kind of feels like a little incongruent on top of that. Yeah, I just want to be pumped about it, to be honest. And anything like any of the workshops that I haven't been pumped about, they haven't done as well, to be honest. Like the things that I'm super pumped about, they always do well. I want to speak to the marketing and just make this super useful for you guys. So if you're running a conversion event, whether that's in-person workshop, online challenge, anything really, you can use this marketing strategy that we're about to give you. Steph and I, we're not really massive on like pre-launching stuff. Like we don't really have a big runway before we open cart type thing. So you can do this before the strategy that I'm about to give you. So the strategy I'm about to give you, we usually run a workshop on a Wednesday, and then the Monday before, so 10 days before, we'll kind of like open cart for the workshop. So we work backwards with emails. So on the Monday, which is like 2 days out, we do 48 hours countdown, 24-hour countdown on Tuesday, 12-hour and then 2-hour countdown on emails. And then the 7 days before that, we have an email a day as well. So it's about 11 emails in the 10 days before. And this is all about hitting the marketing angles, why they should come to the workshop, what the outcome is, and then driving them towards it. So that's the kind of email strategy, is 11 emails. Ad strategy, we usually pick 5 angles, launch an ad for each, run about $10 a day budget. So hypothetical example, let's say we're running the ads. We go through 5 marketing angles on why they should be running ads in their business. And then run those $10-$20 a day on each of them. So that's ads.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yep.
Can you talk us through angles? Just to explain that concept, because you just kind of rinsed over it. And I think that it's so helpful and really interesting.
Yeah. So if I would say to you, you should be running Facebook ads right now, there would be 100 reasons or marketing angles that you could use. So a marketing angle could be have ads running 24/7 in your sleep. You don't have to rely on anyone else to run your ads for you. Organic is dead. Like, they're 3 angles that I've just written. And you could write emails and ads about that specific angle and then drive them to obviously book in for the workshop that we're going through. Where people go wrong is they think that the only angle they have is on the thing they're selling. So you need to sign up to this workshop on running Facebook ads because you need Facebook ads. And then they run an entire marketing campaign just on that one angle. Where it works really well is if you mix up the angles and you've got 3, 5, 10 different angles that you're running, and you've just got multiple pain points, problems, solutions that you can run in the same campaign. It's just far more effective for marketing.
So what I'm hearing is that angles are pain points. So different pain points your clients will have. So like, for example, for me, I like a pain point would be like, you haven't started running ads because, or for like a lot of our clients would be, you haven't started running ads because you don't think you're techie. So you could have the not techie angle, but we're going to teach you so simple. It's going to be easiest thing you set up all week. Then you have the people who are like, I've tried ads agencies before and they sucked. So it's all these different, every different person is going to have a different reason as to why they don't want to or do want to do your workshop. And you're just targeting all of those different pain points and reasons. So that they're basically, no one has any reason not to come.
It's also objection handling. So what you want to do is put the landing page of whatever thing you're trying to do in AI and say, give me 20 marketing angles, and then go after those angles from there. So email, ads, organic. So we usually do 2 to 3 reels in a week, and then a couple of slide carousels. The magic is in the ManyChat, comment below, and then we add them in a ManyChat sequence and get people on our workshop. They're really the main drivers. We have an AI bot that we used recently. It got about 25% of the sales on our last workshop. We're about to kick it off tomorrow for our new workshop that's coming up. AI bot was pretty cool. If you're listening to this right now and you're like, I want to use an AI bot, a little bit expensive and a little bit techy to set up and cost quite a bit in terms of text charges. Not sure I would recommend that for a lot of people. That's basically the 411 on it. In terms of running workshops, like what have been the big kind of drivers or successes that we have? Like, what are top 3 things you would give people advice on to nail if they want to have a successful workshop?
Yeah. The number one thing I give you advice on if you want to have successful workshops is to run many workshops. And I think that so many people put all this effort into one workshop and one conversion event, one online masterclass that doesn't convert. And then they think, oh, it was so much effort. Why would I bother trying again? And the number one thing that we're instilling into our clients is that you have to keep going. You get better every workshop. You get better at getting people to show up. You get better at the conversion rate on the call. You get better at, marketing angles to get more people signed up. You get better at the follow-up email so you can make more sales on the back end. You get better every single time you do it, and you're able to dial different things in. Like, give yourself 12 months to nail this, and you won't need to do a single sales call ever again. But everybody always wants the condensed pathway to success. No one is willing to put in the long-term work. And if we go back, like, we kicked off with a winner, luckily for us, but then after that, everything felt disappointing. Like, our next 3 workshops in comparison to our first were crap. And so that was, it made it really hard for us to, I mean, they were still great, don't get me wrong, and we still signed clients and it all still worked, but it felt by comparison, it felt really disappointing. But then over time, we've gotten better and better and better. And it's actually become something that's quite fun. Yeah. And I think that my number one thing for most people is like, don't give up too early. Like it's a skill to learn. And once you have the skill of presenting, of marketing it, of running these conversion events, like you can make money forever on anything.
Yeah. The second one for me is just like have a marketing plan that you stick to every time and improve. I think a lot of people get a little bit haphazard with workshops. They're like, hey, I'm running a workshop and I'll do some posts and do some ads and whatever. Like there's no actual structure to their marketing. So like I gave you guys a structure just before on this, I'd be noting that down, get the transcript of this podcast, create the marketing plan for you. And if you're running a conversion event or whatever, just follow that and use it and then be like, that worked, that didn't work, and be scientific about it. Like probably to your point is like, don't be so upset at yourself if your workshop doesn't go well. You're still creating a lot of good in the universe.
Yes.
And I think probably that's the third point is like a lot of people look at, hey, I signed 2 clients, 1 client, no client, 10 clients, whatever it is. It's not really about the monetary return that you get immediately. Yes, you put a lot of effort into it, but you change more lives with your content and your workshops and all the good you put out in the world than you ever will with the amount of clients that you serve, which I think is key.
And to that point, we've had people come to 4 workshops and then sign up.
Yeah.
So don't think that because they didn't buy on the first workshop that they're not going to buy. Yeah. They will still buy. They just might buy in 4 workshops time. And so they may just need a lot of proof, or it may not genuinely not be the right time for them. So you've got to keep showing up for them, and you can't just expect them to buy the first time every single time. One other tip, just a really little hack here, is don't do what we did and do a different workshop every single month. Oh my God. I would do probably 3. And then I would rotate back to the first one again. So quarterly. So I would do 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And then on the 4th month, I go back to the first month's workshop and I would just rotate them. That will save you so much time.
Yeah. That was cool. So that's 10 workshops so far. I think we've had thousands of people register for them. We've made a lot of money in sales off these workshops, but more importantly, we've helped a shitload of people in the process here. It's been incredible. I probably wouldn't change anything because the lessons have been great from it.
Yeah, you and I are like the worst for people are like, what do you regret? And I'm like, there's
no regrets.
I very rarely have a regret. I do wish I'd run Facebook ads earlier. Anyway.
Do you want to tell us about our second experiment and what we've got?
Yes. So a couple of months ago, we ran a personal brand workshop and it was awesome. And off the back of it, we could really feel just from the people who were there and the feedback that we got that people were really looking for kind of like a boot camp version of that workshop. So that workshop, but maybe a 4-week extended container intensive that they could do and try and get a result. And so we launched a 28-day personal brand accelerator and it was super successful. We had 22 clients come in and incredible results. They showed up, they did the work. It was just awesome. Like it was so fun to do. And we really loved it. And we really loved the format of being able to, you know, Tim's a builder and he loves to, not physical builder, Tim's a builder, but he loves to create curriculums and he loves to teach new stuff and he loves to get excited about new offers. And so we were both pretty lit up by it. The next time we wanted to run a workshop was the Facebook ads workshop. And it made sense for us to do on the 28-day ads accelerator on the back end. But we decided not to. Even though you built out the entire curriculum for it. And it was awesome. So good. And I think at one point we probably will run this. But it is just not the right time.
So much work.
It's so much work. And I think sometimes just because you can doesn't mean you should. We have a lot going on right now with life. Like we're packing up, the house is full of maintenance people. We constantly have staging people coming in to take photos of our house. We've got photographers coming in. We've got visa runs. We've got so much going on in our life right now that we really need business to be on simple mode for a little while until we get to Thailand, and we're going to dial the hell up. And I think sometimes, yes, we could launch this thing, and yes, it would work, and yes, heaps of people would sign up, and yes, it would be super fun, and yes, it would be a huge cash injection. But right now, our priority is actually not cash injection. Our priority is just like simple business that ticks over. We can be all focused in on our clients and not creating new fancy stuff. And so that was the decision that we made. How do you feel about that decision, though? Because you did put quite a lot of work and effort into building out the curriculum for that?
Yeah, I think not choosing money is probably pretty new for us. We'd always like prioritize money. It's been a different type of season for that. It's pretty interesting turning down 20, 30, 40 grand like from a launch like this just because like we don't have the capacity for it. Part of me, like I call it the alpha in me, is like, fucking send it, step up, bro. Like, let's get it. You can do it. Of course I can do it, but at what cost? And it's kind of like, I really want to enjoy this season moving to Thailand. I really don't want to like get into it burnt out and fucked and wrecked. So it was kind of like, instead of always creating something new, like what can we sell on the back of the next workshop that is simple and easy for us to produce? Because like, yes, the 28-day brand accelerator was amazing, but also it was a lot of work like on top of it.
Of course, yeah.
One of our clients, Kirsty, and it's kind of like a bit of a similar situation. Kirsty Seaborn, shout out. She's going into, a slow period in business because a lot of her business is corporate. And she was talking about November, December, January being a little bit quiet. And I kind of liken this to that. And I kind of said to her, is like, instead of seeing it as a quiet period, can we just enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, enjoy the time off? And I'm kind of seeing that for ourselves in business at the moment. It's like, maybe we don't have to push as hard because we are moving. We're going to save 50% tax going forward. But also, like, can we take the space rather than just hustling all the time to get a result? And maybe that will be the thing that helps us reach the next level in business, is actually the space and the clarity and the time. And if you're listening to this podcast now and you're thinking, maybe that does apply to me as well, instead of like bro scaling and hustling and always putting out new stuff, like what if you took a step back in the next couple of months heading into Q4 and you kind of reassessed, improved your content, improved your brand, improved your messaging, improved your offer, rather than like trying to hard sell people all the time? Like, what are your thoughts?
We look at this in levers, really. And when we look at our biggest opportunity in our business right now, the lever is being seen. That is the biggest opportunity for us to grow.
Yeah.
In order to create the volume and the quality of content to be able to be seen to grow takes a lot of creative energy and effort, especially for me. I'm not a naturally creative person, so it does take me quite a long time to like ideate and create all of my content for a week or two. Then my number one focus is to grow my audience with that. I need space. Like, I need space to do that. So yes, we could throw this thing down, and of course we could do it. Like, we both have the time and energy to do it. We could do it. We could do it. There's a difference between we could do it and then really asking yourself, but do I want to?
Yeah.
And I think that for me, it was like, I don't really, like, we could. And there's part of me that also, this is the duality thing, right? Because there's part of me that doesn't want to do it because we'd help so many people. It'd be fun. We'd make money. Money's fun. Making sales is super fun. Like, that's all really fun.
Yeah.
But the
time off fun too.
Time off is so fun, and spending hours ideating content and watching other creators and learning how to create better hooks and focusing on the number one goal of my audience right now for me, for what I'm doing at the moment in my current business, focusing on what I want to do is way more fun. And that's what I really want to spend my time doing. And so, yeah, to your point, I'm glad that we've made the decision.
Yeah, it was funny. Today I had 2 people reach out to me for done for you ads management, which is like a lot of money that they reached out, and I said no twice. Also for the same reason, it's just not the season for it as well. It's like, and also I just don't want to let someone down.
Yes.
Like, we got a lot of shit coming up, and I just don't want to like be that fucking crap ads agency that sucks.
Exactly.
And I just don't want to be that person over and over and again and again. What kind of things have you said no to in business that have, like, do you have any practical or takeaways here from like things you've said no to that have led to something bigger on the other side? Because I know it's like, it's really easy for us to be like, say no and get some space and grow your business. Is there anything like comes to mind?
I just think for me, and probably for a lot of people listening, we see our clients go through this all the time. And I think that when you're feeling at capacity, and that point can hit in so many different ways for so many different reasons. Like, you might not be, at the moment, I'm not at capacity in business, but I'm fairly at capacity emotionally and in my life. And so for me, if you're someone that's listening to this podcast and you're feeling at capacity, it's probably time to enter a season of no, of just doing the basics, getting the work done, servicing the clients that you have, and giving yourself just 10 minutes. And I say 10 minutes, but what I really mean is probably like 10 hours of solid space where you aren't opening your phone. And I'm the worst for this. Like, I need to literally be forced to sit in a hot tub with no phone just to think my thoughts, because I always pick up my phone. I'm always reactive to what everyone else needs from me. But the only way that this company can grow is if I'm in a place where I have energy. And so if I'm feeling at capacity, it has to be a no season. And if it's a no season, then I need to give myself the space to actually figure out what the fuck I want to do.
Let's talk about that. Do you have a social media addiction? It's not like a funny one. I'm generally being serious.
I actually don't think that I do have a social media addiction. I think I have a bad habit.
Okay.
And so
what's the difference?
The difference is I don't wake up in the morning fiending for my social media, and I don't check my social media after 5 p.m. Like, I really don't. Like, I sit on the couch and I don't want to look at my phone. The only time I look at my phone at night is because my mum or something be going on with my mum. Otherwise, I'm not on my phone. I don't enjoy being on social media outside of work hours.
Yeah.
My toxic trait when it comes to social media is that I will reward myself for 10 minutes of work with a quick little scroll. And I think that what I'm actually doing is distracting, because I probably have more time than I need for the task. If I actually set myself a timer, I said, you only have 30 minutes to do this task, there's no fucking way I'd pick up my phone.
Yeah.
So I think I go into seasons of like distraction. Like, I have an hour or two before I have to do something else. So I'll do a bit and then I just pick my phone up, and then I do a bit, then I pick my phone up. But I really hate being on social media. Like, I don't like being on there.
Unhinged thoughts. What do you hate about social media? What do you not like about it? What pisses you off about it?
I feel bad when I scroll for a lot of time. I feel shit. I just feel shit. It feels like laying in bed.
Why do you feel shit?
It feels lazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why does scrolling feel lazy?
It's like screen time. That feeling of screen time gives me the ick.
But why is screen time lazy? Why does it give you the ick?
Because I'd rather be out in nature. We weren't built to sit in front of fucking screens. Like, that's just not what we're supposed to be doing with our lives, you know? And sometimes I find myself like fucking triple screening. Like, I'll be on the couch on my phone with my laptop in my lap watching the fucking television. Like, how crazy is that? Like, how do we spend so much time and then maybe my Apple Watch will be going off? Like, it's wild how much screen time we have. We're so dissociated from what we're supposed to be doing as humans. We're supposed to be in community and spending time with each other and out in the sun and getting vitamin D and, you know, grounding on grass. And we don't do any of that stuff because we're just so addicted to our screens. And so anytime that I'm spending more time on screens than I like, I think that my internal like soul is like, please, can you leave the freaking house and just go get something, like do something that's good for you, do some movement, do some exercise, get some sun, go in the sea, do something that's good for your soul, you know? And I hate being on screens. Back to you though. Do you think you have a social media addiction?
Not anymore, like I used to for sure. I would open Instagram, then I'd open Facebook, then I'd go on Twitter, then I open my emails, then I open school, and I would just do that constantly
so just, like,
in a loop.
all the apps.
Like just go, open it. And then I got to the point like 3 weeks ago where I was like, fuck, I am pathetic doing this. Like, I'm wasting my life on the fucking phone, like doing nothing. Getting so absorbed in other people's lives who don't matter. And I deleted all the apps off my phone, which is cool, and I schedule them later anyway. So it's no drama for me. But yeah, I definitely had one. I like have an addictive personality for sure. So it's not something I can control. Like, that could be a limiting belief. All the mindset coaches are fucking freaking out here right now. But
all the addiction coaches.
I just, delete the apps off my phone, and that's my abstinence from social media.
Are they still deleted off your phone at the moment?
I will install them on like a day to put up a story, and then not delete them, and then remember, and it gets like this.
It just says, so it's kind of like a loop for you.
It's a loop, yeah, and then I'll get pissed off, delete them again, and do the whole thing. But like Instagram, Facebook log you out, so I'll go on Chrome and then I'll log in, and then Instagram and Facebook log you out, but X doesn't, so Twitter doesn't. So I can just stay logged in on Chrome on my phone. It's
such a shame that that you require social media for your
business.
Work. Yeah. Do you think that
I wouldn't have it?
Yeah.
No way. I would not have social media if I wasn't for this business. There's no way. I think it's the worst thing for you. Like, I think it's terrible for your mental health. I think it's terrible for your anxiety. I think there's so much better things you should be doing with your life than on social media.
What do you think people should be doing with their lives?
Educating, like reading books, getting out in nature, having a good time, making experiences, making other people happy, doing stuff with other people. Just less boredom. Like, it's just a lot of boredom out there, and I think that's why people do it. It's just the easy option. But when you don't have it, you're challenged to do other things that's not social media, which is incredible.
Talk us through the concept of
like nothing good happens on social media. The best times in your life, if you think back, the top 10 has not been social media.
And yeah, that's how most people are spending 70% of their days is addicted to, like 70% of their screen time is to social media.
Yeah.
Talk about the concept of like hard choices, easy life, easy choices, hard life.
Yeah, I heard this from Jerzy Gregowitz on the Tim Ferriss podcast. He's a famous, I think he's a gymnastics coach. He worked in US gymnastics team. The quote was, easy choices, hard life, hard choices, easy life. So the easy choice is always to go to KFC and have Macca's. So that's the easy choice. But you're going to have a hard life on the other time because you're going to get some kind of serious chronic disease. You're going to be fat. You're going to be out of shape. You're going to lose confidence. You're probably going to get anxiety, depression, mental health issues. The hard thing to do, or the hard choice, is to cook dinner. And it would take you 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, eat healthy food. But on the back of it, you're going to have a much stronger and better life with longevity and health and mental health and all the things. So every time you guys go at night, you can pick Uber Eats and have bullshit and fill your body with that. Or you can choose to cook a healthy meal. And there's the easy choice and there's the hard choice. But every time you take the easy choice, there's a hard decision or a hard circumstance that happens later in your life, which is like when you think about it in every situation, like if you think in relationships, if you think in friendships, if you're thinking with your food, if you're training, if you choose to not do the 10 minutes cardio at the end of the session, like that's the easy choice to not do it. But then down the track is you could be suffering with some kind of crazy disease because you're unfit, you know? And so,
Give me some examples. I would love to hear an example for business.
For business, the easy choice is outsourcing ads to an ads agency. But then the hard thing that happens on the back of that is you never have control over your ads. Your ads are probably going to suck and no one really gives a fuck about it. And the hard thing would be to actually learn ads, which most people don't want to do because it's too hard. And if you're listening to this, I'm doing inverted quotes at the moment. It's not too hard. You're just choosing the easy choice there. And it's always the wrong decision, especially if you're the CEO founder in the small business. The other easy choice is like if you're in a container, like Success School is not showing up. It's not doing the work, or it's just not communicating with your coaches. It's not updating them. It's not doing your fucking KPIs. That's the easy choice because you can't be bothered. You make up some excuse that you don't get it, or you don't know the numbers, or you don't see the value in it. And then the hard thing is your business never goes anywhere because you don't know where you're at.
Yeah.
Any that I missed? I'm just unloading.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm like, we could do a whole podcast episode just on easy choices, hard life. So I guess then to wrap this point up, the easy choice would have been to run the accelerator because we love making sales. We love helping people. We love building new stuff. We kind of have capacity to do it. But we knew that if we made the easy choice of like, yeah, this is like fun, and then we have the momentum, that in 4 weeks' time when we actually launch the thing, we're going to be exhausted, burnt out, and we're going to be so close to living for Koh Samui that it's just going to be such a shit show.
Yeah.
And so we made the hard choice, which is not to run the thing, to take the revenue hit, to not necessarily know where our next, I guess, pool of, big cash injections are going to come from, but knowing that we're preparing ourselves for a season of huge income yield once we get to Thailand.
Yeah, for sure. Steph, can you tell us about Experiment 3? But I want you to weave in Chris Griffin.
So one of my very good friends is working with Chris Griffin. And he, if you don't know who Chris Griffin is the guy that Laura Henshaw took down because he said, she took him down on the internet.
Oh my God.
She basically shared one of his reels where he was saying that he doesn't want his girlfriend to have to come home from work and complain about her day and say how much she hates her work and how much she hates her life and then be in a crappy mood with him. He'd just rather her not work, and he'd rather just provide for her so that she could be more happy and so that she could have the life that she really wants to and go Pilates and just do her girl thing. And Laura Henshaw took him down for saying that. Now, the reason she took him down for saying that was because she was like, well, women have a right for independence and we have a right to earn an income. And I think
He's not saying that she doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. If that made her happy to work, he would have been happy for her to work. But he was specifically saying, and it was taken out of context in the whole episode anyway. So that was kind of how he kind of came into the limelight, because he shared this kind of, I guess.
He was famous before that. It's not.
He was. But that was how I heard about him. That was definitely how I heard about him. And since then I followed him, and I actually really like his content. And I like a lot of his standpoints. And I think he's a really deep thinker. He's very young. He's only 23 years old. So my very good friend has started working with him to help her grow her podcast. And one of the things that he has been sharing with us has been that...
with us. We're secondhand getting coaching from Chris Griffin now.
We're getting secondhand coaching. But effectively, one of the things he shared with her was that the way that he's grown his audience has obviously just been with the podcast. He's only had a podcast up until just recently where he's launched this new thing where he's coaching some people. But up until this point, it's just been the podcast. And his number one thing was like basically to be Chris Williamson or Joe Rogan. And the way you do that is to create insane, really amazing, hyper emotional, really deep podcast reels that anybody could resonate with and share. And there's an entire process that obviously goes behind that. But we realized that we have this incredible setup. We have all this podcast gear. We have this incredible team. Shout out to TBC, who are so amazing at putting our podcast together and editing it. And we're just not utilizing it to the point that we need to be able to grow the podcast, grow the audience. And there's so much more that we can be doing to add layers of depth. And I think that's just always the case, though, isn't it? Like, in anything that you do, there's levels to it. And
so what was his advice? Like, what was the main advice to grow a podcast? Was more volume?
So his specific advice was that you should post podcast reels daily.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't do that if they're shit.
Yeah.
So the specific advice was make the podcast reels really good. So step one is to get sound bites from your podcast where you are digging emotionally on either yourself, but if you're a co-host, where you would dig emotionally for the other person, so they would have these quite, I guess, deep sound bites. So go deeper with your audience. Ask more probing questions with the people who are on your podcast. Answer deeper questions. Share more vulnerability. The more emotion that you share on your podcast, the more likelihood that someone is going to be to want to listen to it and then feel rewarded and come back over and over again.
Yeah.
The second part of that is then to create incredible podcast reels that really showcase those points of emotion and layering them with music and sound effects and sound bites that really, when you're watching it, you are having an emotional response witnessing this thing, which is obviously going to make you want to go and listen to the rest of the thing and also send the podcast clip around. Once you nail that, then it's time to ramp up to daily podcast reel shares.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And one of the things that we found interesting,
I've had a debate with our podcast manager, Alicia. Everyone's entitled to their opinion as well. This is no slight on Alicia. But her point was, this was a while ago, a couple of years ago, the more podcast reels you share, the worse they go. My take is, if you share bad podcast clips, they're not going to go well. I'm a volume guy, you know that. Like, I like more volume, I like more reps, I like more podcast reels. So I'm all for the more is more is more. So there is, I can't remember the Instagram account, but there is an account, I think it's in India, they get 7 billion views a month on Instagram. And how they do that is they share 75 pieces of content per day. Per day on Instagram. So they have an entire teams that do this, but there is a volume approach. So we need to get our podcast out there more. We need to share better clips. We need to share more clips. But I kind of want to talk to the volume thing that you've been talking about with your organic content. You said you were super glad that you made a whole bunch of content because you were able to test and measure what was working, and then your content was able to get better. So tell us about that. Like, you've been on a bit of an experiment with your social media.
Yeah, and you have too, but you really inspire the experiment as usual. Tim inspires most experiments that happen in our household. Posting, at the moment, we've been posting twice a day. I've been posting twice a day for the last, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 weeks. And it's a lot to produce. And some of our clients have been inspired and they're now producing 2 a day. And it's a lot. Like, they're like, holy crap, this is a lot of work. 1, it gets easier the more you do it. So just keep at it. But 2, it is a lot of work. But the reason why I refuse to stop posting twice a day is because you get so much data about what's working and what's not way faster. So I can look at a week's worth of content, which is 14 posts, which if you're scrolling down 3 by 3 is 7. No.
Don't even try to math it.
What is the 3 by 3 into 14?
It's like
15, 5.
4.5.
Yeah. So if it's 3 by 3 on an Instagram feed and you're scrolling down, you can get like 4 or 5 scrolls down before you've run out of just this week's content, right? Yeah. And so I can see at a glance, just looking at my content, just looking at the data, just looking at the insights at a glance really quickly, what performs and what doesn't. If I only do 7 posts in that week, I just don't have as much data to pull. And so since I've been really focusing on this organic growth thing, I need as much data as I can get to be able to find out what my audience loves so I can produce more of that sort of content, and what my audience doesn't like so I can stop producing that content. And the fastest way for me to do that is to do volume posting. Now, I would love to do 4 a day. That would be my goal. Right now, I don't have capacity to make that much content. Again, to point 2 of why we're not running a brand accelerator, I would love to go into a 4 times a day posting schedule just so I could see what that looks like for a week.
Yep.
But you need space to be able to do that. And so I'm loving it. I think that it's so helpful. I think that week on week, my organic content is getting better. It's growing. It's getting more leads. We're getting more direct reach outs for sales calls booked or interest in working with us. It's working. Yeah.
I think we're taking on a bit of a white belt mentality, which is great. We're like stepping back into the student of it and just testing and analyzing what we're doing. Steph's been doing that with organic. I've been doing that as well. Not to the same extent, just because I've got a lot of creation on my hands at the moment. But even with the podcast, it's kind of like what we're doing at the moment is we're recording a really good episode, putting a lot of effort into planning these episodes, making them as good as possible. Every episode, I'm going to the cameras, I'm adjusting the settings, I'm adjusting the angles, I'm adjusting the lighting. We're working on the titles, we're working on listener questions, we're working on engagement, we're talking about how we can present better. And every week, it's like the 1% better. Like we're trying to get 1% better with our organic, with our YouTube, with our content. We hired a new editor on our YouTube, so for our like how-to. So the difference obviously under this hood here, guys, is our podcast is we're going more down the personal brand route, and the YouTube's more like the how-to. We have a separate editor for our how-to YouTube, so we just hired a really good editor, which is incredible, which I'm excited to do. But I guess the main thing here is like we're always looking for tweaks on how we can make things better, especially with our content. And the biggest lever that we have is our content. And everything we do gets better, and we help more people, and we have more impact, or we make more money the better content we make. So we're putting a lot of effort into that. And if that sounds like a lot of work for you, it is. Because that is what makes money.
Why do you think that people, because there's this, and we've been guilty of it in the past, this 1% better mentality and just wanting it to be perfect. Talk to me about, because like there has been a point in your life previously where you've just wanted it to be perfect. Like, who can we pay? How can we just get it set up? Like, why is it not good enough yet? And now you're really in that 1%. We're just like, oh, it's okay that it sucked. It's okay that the filming was bad. It's okay that, you know, we're learning, we're figuring it out. When did you transition back to really playing in that student mode?
Yeah, I just realized like I just don't want to fake anything online. Like I don't want to present as something I'm not, and then someone meets me and they're like, he actually doesn't even know what he's doing. Like I'd rather just be upfront with everyone in the world about where I'm at with whatever level I'm at. Like there's no bullshit. Like I'm going to tell you guys if I suck at podcasting or speaking or coaching, or like I'm taking TRT. I just don't want there to be any like non-transparency. Like I just don't want there to be any lies for me. So I'm just trying to, like, I guess what it all boils down to is authenticity. Like I'm just trying to be authentic. Like there's nothing I fucking hate more than when I meet someone online and they present as a different person than what they are. I just think it's completely incongruent, and I'm just okay with bearing my warts and all online in the quest of just showing the journey. Like, and that's what it is. It's like I just if I just want to inspire people just to be shit at things, you know. Like I'm shit at shooting. Like I'm shit at bow and arrow. I'm shit at. That's about it. No, I'm kidding.
No, but
I'm shit at a lot of things.
We messed up the podcast. The first podcast we did in this room.
Yeah, we fucked it up.
The camera was wrong.
Yeah.
And you know we messed up, and that's going to go live, and that's just how that is. And as much as we pay all this money and we have all this stuff, and we could sit here and we could be super frustrated, we could feel really let down, and we could sit down and re-record it, and we could be huff and puff about it, but we don't. We just go, chalk it up to I listen, move on, move on to the next thing.
I just feel there's one topic we haven't really discussed here, and I wanted to know, you're not even going to be prepared for this, but like, what have you thought about not having a sales team, and like, how's it gone?
Yeah, we haven't discussed this.
No, we haven't even discussed this personally.
I think there are pros and cons to having a sales team, in my opinion. The cons of, the pros of not having a sales team has been like, it's been awesome to not have to feed this entire system. Like if it takes the pressure off needing to create. So basically what happens that when you have a sales team is that they want to get sales, which means that you need to feed them with leads, which means that all of your marketing needs to be very lead generation heavy. And that means that there's very little room for creativity, for flow, for personal brand, for things like that, because those things don't necessarily equal leads ROI straight away. Like the personal brand stuff is amazing and I totally recommend people should do it, but it is not a direct lead generator. It's a trust builder and it needs to be done alongside lead generation strategies. And so not having a sales team has been awesome because I've been able to really do this whole personal brand thing and I love it and it's so much more fun and I feel so much more in flow with creation and I feel more energized and creative and it's just fun. Like I really enjoy it because we haven't needed to get leads because we haven't needed to get sales because we don't have to feed a salesperson. Yeah. So that's been awesome. What sucked has been that we're probably still really dialing in our process for taking someone from application form to sold. And we're testing and trying to figure out with our market what that actually looks like because, you know, it's different for every single market. We have a market of people who have a lot of questions, they have a lot of fear, they have a lot of reservations. They've been burnt by coaches before. This is a lot of money. It's a big investment for somebody. And so they're not just willing to sign up necessarily easily on a doc straight away. And we're just having to test and measure what those tipping points are. You know, is it a lower front end buy-in? Is it more bonuses? Is it urgency? Is it scarcity? Is it that they need to watch a video beforehand? And so we haven't known. We don't know. We're still really in the testing phase of that, which means that we're still jumping on sales calls. And those sales calls now fall back to you and I. Yeah. And that we don't love that. That's not fun for us. And so that's probably been, and it's not many. And then also because we don't want to get on sales calls, sometimes we just don't. Yeah. And that's detrimental to the business. Yeah. And so there's been pros and cons for sure. I probably wouldn't bring back a salesperson just at field the volume of calls that we're getting. We're still having a lot of people just directly sign up, but we are still in the phase of, it's hard to miss sales. It's hard to know that somebody wanted to work with you. And if you had a sales team, that sale would have fallen over. You know for sure that they would have signed up. Yeah. And so it's hard when you're a business owner to know that you've missed the sale. They're probably going to go somewhere else, have an even shittier experience, be further behind than they were before, and then when they join, which happens a lot, they're like, oh, I just wish I'd joined before. Like, this is so much better than the other programs. And I just shoot myself in the head, like proverbially, because I'm like, if you just joined us first, and that's our fault because we haven't had the sales architecture in place to be able to make that happen. What about you?
I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed not having a sales team. No slight on the sales team. I just hate managing people. So it's been great to not do that. I've enjoyed the challenge of it as well. I'm a little bit less attached to the money than you in terms of the revenue and the people we've lost. I'm under the belief that everyone who's going to work with us is going to work with us one way or another. If it takes them a little bit longer to join because they need a few more trust pieces, that's cool. But yeah, working out the sales architecture is going to be interesting going forward. I think we're super close. I think we're close. A few more tweaks, a few more weeks of white space and some time, and I think I'll get it dialed in. But it's been interesting to kind of throw caution to the wind and be like, yo, we're not going to do sales calls anymore. Here's the doc, sign up. And if you don't, you're a fucking loser.
It's been,
I mean that as a joke, but join us or fuck off type vibes. Yeah. It's been cool. It's been exciting. We've definitely missed some sales, and yes, our client success team probably hate us saying that, but we will work it out. We will get better, and we're going to keep you guys updated on the podcast. But I just wanted to be upfront with you guys listening and be fully transparent. Yeah. It hasn't been as easy as I'd hoped.
Yes.
And there's been some errors.
Yes. And also I think that, we're just in a bit of a season, and we do go through these seasons. Yeah. We're in a bit of a caution to the wind season. Yeah. And, sometimes it feels good. I think what's good is that we're not blowing up the entire business, which we have done in previous seasons that have been like this. We're changing a lot in our lives because we can feel that we need change. And I love the business that we run, and we both love the business that we run. And so we're not going to change that, but we are shifting around a lot of things to find space. And I just think if you're listening to this, if you have the financial stability, which I highly recommend, guys, if you're not building a recurring income business, you have to build a recurring income business. I don't care what anybody says. Upfront sales suck. Like, in my opinion,
Terrible.
it's so shit.
Salespeople love it.
Salespeople love it. And I think that there are some people out there in the world that love upfront sales, but like, I hate it. Like, my nervous system sleeps so easy knowing that we have huge cash injections every single month, recurring for 12 months minimum. It's the best. Like, get your clients on payment plan. It is the best thing that you can do for your, and everyone's like, yeah, but what about bounce payments? If you get a good system in place, our bounce payments are like 2%. It's nothing. Honestly, it's so nothing that it's so good to have the recurring income, because that gives you space to breathe. When you know that you have 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months of income coming in, that means that if you decide that you go through a season of wanting to burn it all down, or, you know, wanting to change something in your life, or wanting to throw caution to the wind, like, I don't want to have a sales team, or fuck it, maybe I'll just try selling off OfferDoc. You can. But you can't do that if you're starting from zero every single month. Like, that's so dysregulating. I don't know why anybody does it.
Yeah. I love that. And lastly, super off topic, I want to talk about the AI stuff. We watched a Doom and Gloom podcast the other day. I forget his name. I'm just going to say
Diary of a CEO.
Diary of a CEO was like Professor Dr. Yankashansky or something.
It was Roman
Yaplansky. Okay, cool. Check it out on Diary of a CEO if you guys want to watch it. But he was basically saying there's a 99% chance that AI is going to go into the like scorched earth mode and basically kill us all. And he thinks in 5 years' time, we are going to have nothing to do because all jobs are going to be basically taken by AI in the next 5 years, which is interesting. I guess the moral dilemma here is like, what are people going to do with their time? And I know you have quite strong opinions on this, and I have completely polar opposite opinions on this.
Yes.
What were your initial thoughts? What did you think? Like, how's it going to affect business? Like, give me your just unfiltered.
My unfiltered thoughts are, God, that sounds nice. Not working. You know, I think it's twofold. So I think for myself, I'm actually prepared for a world where AI does most of our work. And so because you've been preparing me for this for a very long time, and I think that my body has overcome the fear factor of that, my heart breaks because I think that most of humanity is not prepared for that eventuation. And I think that people thrive on having purpose. And I think that without jobs and without meaningful work, they're not going to have purpose. And I think that that's going to be a really, really hard time for humanity. And so even saying that, I got like a little bit of anxiety in my body because I feel bad for the world, right?
Yeah.
So that, I am a little bit scared of course, AI taking over and wanting to kill us all. But at the end of the day, like, if that is what happens, then
we're in for a fight.
We're all in, you know? Like, but, you know, none of us know when we're going to die. And that only pushes our point of live your freaking life the way you want to live it more than ever before, because we're moving to Thailand. Like, we have this whole thing, like, we're doing the things we want to do with our lives. We're not holding back. Like, if I died tomorrow, or ideally if I died in a year's time, I would have like lived on an island and married my best friend and had the beautiful dogs and had this whole really cool, incredible human experience. And so I'm not really scared of if AI comes in and decides to kill the world off, because it's out of our control. It's so out of our control right now. It's completely inevitable if that's what's going to happen. And all we can do now is focus on really just living. Yeah. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I've said this a few times. It's like I could have died like many times in the last couple of months or years, and I know I've had a great experience. Like I've had a really good life. Like it's been incredible. So like I'm not concerned for that, and like obviously I want to raise a family and experience that level of my life. But like if that's what happens, that's what happens. But part of the reason we are moving to Thailand is to get ahead financially. So when this time does come, like we're going to be set. Like we're going to have money, and we're going to be able to do stuff and live, and we're not going to be relying on the governments, because like if this actually does happen, the world is going to go to shit. Like we're going to be in strife. Like there's going to be unemployment is going to be huge. Government's going to lose control of things. There's going to be no money. There's going to be resource issues. And the last thing you want to be is strapped for cash in that time. Like you want to have the financial stability to pay your way and buy your way out of situations. So that is part of the reasons we are moving to Thailand, is like not specifically because AI is going to take over, but to get ourselves financially comfortable, like super financially comfortable, that we can supply for our friends and family if time comes. But yeah, I think like the ethical and moral dilemma of not having a purpose is going to be huge. Like work gives people a whole bunch of purpose and things to do. And I think like if you look at people that are retired right now, like people die really fast after they retire because they lose purpose. Like I don't know the exact statistics of it, but everyone's like, I want to retire as fast as possible. You really don't, because that's the only thing that gives you purpose in life. And then as soon as you lose your purpose, you die really quickly. So I think the world's going to have a lot of strife when that happens. And if you're listening to this and you're like, you do have some free time, a couple of hours a week, like start to think about like outside of business, like what is the purpose? Like what is the kids? Like what am I going to do if this actually does happen? It's something to think about. It's a really cool conversation.
I think once you get over the fear factor of it, it's a really good conversation. And I think that, you know, the thing that struck me when we were watching the Diary of a CEO podcast was, let's say this does happen in 5 years' time. If you knew you only had 5 years, what would you do differently than what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
And I think that we should all be living in that frame of reference more often, because I think that we take time for granted.
Yeah.
We take use for granted, and we take these seasons for granted. And I think that when you look back, and I've seen, you know, a lot of podcasts that say this, but like when you're 80 and you're looking back today, you would trade everything you had to be 35 years old again. And so we take for granted the season that we're in. And I think that if you can leave this podcast today with, one, some marketing advice from Tim, it's been awesome. But two, like the frame of reference of, if you only have 5 years, how would you live differently? And then why are you not living that way now?
And what would you do? All right, guys, a bit of a different episode today. Let us know if you enjoyed this episode. Should we keep it? Should we kill it off? We're kind of looking for some feedback here. So if you're listening, actually send us a message. We know thousands of people listen and don't send us
We don't
messages.
get that many messages, guys. Like, I would really love to hear from you. We don't have anyone in our DMs anymore, so you're not going to like get sold stuff or sold into a call. But yeah, we'd love to just like have you DM us and let us know, like, did you find this interesting? Do you like the topics of being behind the scenes in our business? And if you don't, that's also cool. Let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, I'm keen for feedback. That was fun, guys. If you are anywhere, subscribe. If that's on the audio or you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. We celebrate every time we see a subscriber come through. Steph and I high five. We jump up, do like a chest slap together. And then we go and cuddle our dogs and have our nighttime new subscriber ritual. As always, guys, I was kind of joking about the new subscriber ritual, but kind of not at the same time. I will see you next week on the Success School podcast.
See you later.